Okay, so we got plenty chicks out here talking about they that bitch, and you got a lot of dudes out here talking about they that dude or that nigga. The question becomes, what is your real value? Are you that dude? Are you that chick? Let's talk about it. Cue the music. Welcome back to my channel. This is LaSalle, the M.B.A. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today's topic is, what is your real value? What we're going to discuss today is perception versus reality, and we're going to give you 3 signs of your reality not living up to your perception, and then we're going to discuss a few tips to bring your reality up to your perception. As always, this is for my bosses. For some of you people that's not going to see any problem with certain things, even though I'm talking about you, this is not going to resonate. But for my bosses, for the people trying to make that thing happen, especially now with 2020 coming in, with all the stuff going on, this is going to resonate with you. And as always, let's subscribe. Let's try and get this boss community up and spread the word amongst other people so we change the dynamic that we live in. So let's get started. The first thing, what is your real value? You got a lot of people out here running around in the age of social media and the age of reality TV shows where it's more important for them to project how they feel outward to the world than it is to actually live up to certain things. Now, I understand, especially in my community, you got a lot of people that grew up not having much and they had to have pride within themselves. I get it. You want to bring that value in when the world may not tell you. That's something that our parents have told us. That's something that people who loved us have told us, to keep our chin up and do all those things. But I think that that kind of has run amok. So we're going to go into 2 or 3 signs, well, actually 3 signs, that actually will let you know that maybe your real value is not as high as what you think it is. Sign number 1. The stuff that you have on is worth more than what you have in your bank account. Okay, I'm going to repeat that for you. Whatever you have on, or you're wearing, or you have something on your person, that is worth more than what's in your bank account. At that point, that should be a telling sign. If you are a dude out there with $600 sneakers on your feet and you have $30 in your bank account, you're not that dude. If you're a chick who has a $500 weave and has a negative balance in her bank account, you're not that broad, you're not that bitch. Okay? The reality is, you have a lot of people that's walking around portraying an image of, hey, I'm out here doing my thing, I live this life, I'm a jet set type of an individual, and it's all perception. And now, there's nothing wrong with having nice things, but at the end of the day, there's a few signs, there's a million things wrong with that. Your bank account should never be outbalanced by what you have on, because at the end of the day, the shit you have on is worthless. When you try and do whatever you got to do, it ain't like you're going to take them sneakers back and get $600 back for them. It ain't like you're going to take that weave out your head or take that Louis Vuitton bag back and get anywhere close to what you paid for it. So first things first, look at your bank account, look at what you got on. Tip number 2, what makes you that dude or that chick is not what you have on, but what you have to offer. Start looking at yourself as being the asset. It's not about what you wear. We understand that certain things are spoils of our hard work, but understand that it's not about what you wear. Start going out regardless of what you have on, no matter what you drive, no matter where you are. Start going out in the mindset of, I don't have these things. How would I make people, or how would I impress people if I didn't have on a $1,000 suit, or if I didn't look a certain way? And it changes how you interact with people. You'll start treating people a lot better. You'll start treating people in an introspective sense of how I want to be treated. You're going to start making an impression on people, not because of how you look. You're going to start impressing people because of what you're capable of doing and how empathetic you are to how they do. You're going to just have an attractive personality. A friend of mine told me many years ago now, there's 2 types of people in this world. There's flash and there's substance. The flash people, they look great, they come in, they wow people, they move the crowd, but when it comes down to it, they don't move the crowd enough that people really want to invest in them because they have no substance. The substance people, maybe they impress the crowd, but the real focal point is always going to be, what are my capabilities, what am I capable of doing? And that is going to ultimately dictate whether you're that dude or you're that chick. Number 3, And this is going to ruffle some feathers, but it needs to be said. The things that you achieved or the things that you get is not due to what you are capable or your skill set or your ability to earn, but based on what somebody's given you. Okay, so what does that mean? There's nothing wrong with being helped in making achievements, especially when you're doing something really serious, a real heavy lifting kind of a situation. That's a kind of a team effort, right? But let's say, for the sake of argument, if what makes you feel that you are that person is the ability to buy an expensive car or lease an expensive car in a lot of people's cases, or that you wear certain clothes, wear certain jewelry, but that is stuff that your husband buys for you or your man buys for you, your parents bought for you or helped you get, right? Or it's because you live under somebody else's roof and whatever income you have goes to that, or goes to those articles of clothing or vehicle or what have you, then you ain't that dude or that you ain't that chick. All right? There's nothing wrong with having these nice things, but at the end of the day, if you need not assistance in getting them, but you need somebody to facilitate them or give them to you, then what did you do? It's nothing. There's no work being born beautiful or being born privileged. So I want you guys to understand that and not get caught up in the perception that you give off to other people. That's when you're really caught up. So now what we're going to do, since we've discussed these 3 signs, if you find yourself in your heart of hearts, because, hey, a lot of people are not going to admit this to other people that they are who we're talking about in this situation. If you find yourself in your heart of hearts, how do you get out of that situation and get into being a doer instead of somebody who's living a lie, living an image, and not being caught up? First rule. Rule number 1, or tip number 1. Accept the reality for what it is. I went back to the case of the bank account. If you are a person that you can sit back and honestly, and I know there's some people who's thinking about this shit as I'm saying it. If you like, yo, damn, my bank account is a negative balance right now, but I can't let nobody know this. I'm not saying that you're supposed to put out on Front Street that, yo, I'm messed up and I'm not, doing as well as I portray. But at the end of the day, change your perception. There's nothing wrong with having these nice things, but some people go too damn far. Lord knows I know what it's like to be broke. Everybody, every boss, anybody who goes out there and has aspired to do certain things understands the whole concept of life is about peaks and valleys. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. But this is the thing. How you treat people, how you interact with people will dictate sometimes how long those peaks and those valleys are. So the first thing you want to understand is take a real hard look at those things. Start putting those things into practice as far as priorities. When you go to make these things happen, or you see, oh, they got these J's on sale, they down to $400, but it's going to wipe out your bank account. Start looking at money in real time. Tip number 3, and this is going to be a little weird one, so just bear with me on this. If life was a movie, if your life was a movie, would you want to play you? Now, what does that mean? Everybody sees a movie, and if it moves you, you either relate to a character or you aspire to be a character. When we watched Predator, we wanted to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, the last man standing. If women watched certain movies like The Devil Wears Prada, they want to have that impact of being able to move and come into a room and control certain things. Some women do, some women don't, but by and large, you get the gist of what I'm saying. If your life was a movie, would you want to be you, or would you be a character that you would sit back in reality and say, oh, that's not me? Understand something. You have to aspire to certain things. What that means is you have to have the balls to make certain moves. You got to have the determination to build yourself up. You got to have the skill set that actually can move a crowd or something that's noteworthy. And these are things you can change within yourself. But if you constantly believe in you're that person, if you constantly believe in you're that person, you're never going to get there because you don't see anything wrong with what you have or any lack in your skill set. So the thing of it is we want to get to a point where we understand that success is a journey, not a destination. Once you get that degree or once you get that job, that's not where you stop. It's always going to be constant improvement because just like the world is improving, you have to improve yourself. So these are things you can take and then make yourself that dude or that chick. But in no time what we should do is overvalue ourselves and be kind of confused about what our real value is. Okay? Just because you have a car, that doesn't mean anything about you. It doesn't mean that you're that person. You're driving a Benz, so what? The people that's really moving and shaking is just a car to them. You're wearing these sneakers. Guess what? The people who really have the money to dispose and disposable income to do certain things, they're going to do something with it that's going to make money for them. And this is the mentality of the boss community. We need these words. We need to build each other up. We want to see what actually can be done in our lives. If you're not satisfied with what you have attained today, if you think tomorrow you can attain more than you did today, subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button, share the message with other people so that we get more people thinking of the like mind. And as always, for my boss community, this is only for my boss community. Remember, this will resonate with you. If it offended you in any way, it's not for you. So until I see you again, this is your boy LaSalle, the M.B.A. As always, important, if it don't make $1, ladies and gentlemen, it don't make no motherfucking sense. Holla back at your boy. Come see me. I'll talk to you soon.